Okay, Damian DeHoyos. DeHoyos?
Yeah, DeHoyos.
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 In the flesh.
Yeah.
My guy.
That's me.
This has been a long time coming, huh?
It sure has been. I've been waiting a long time for it.
How do you feel?
I feel cold.
It's cold. Yeah. Usually it's really hot in the studio, but it's cold.
Yeah.
So Damian is one of, if not one of the greatest artists I've met in person. What he does with a single pen, I don't know. It's extraordinary. It's to say the least. And we met through mutual friends online.
Yeah. Well, I mean, fucking A. It's Josh Magic Michaels. I'm gonna name drop him.
Yeah, Josh Magic Michaels.
You can't forget him.
Yeah,
the only reason, I mean, I found out about the M-word through him. Watching you on Josh Wardo, I think it was.
Oh yeah, shout out Josh Wardo.
I saw Joel on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how I found out about you, and I found out about the M-word and the ambition you have. I mean, it was just strong. The trailer for it, the studio for it. I don't know. There's a presence for it that I was like, I have to be a part of this in some sort of way, or just something for him. It was great. And
he made this absolutely stunning piece that every time I look at it, I see something new, and I was just so taken aback that someone would not only enjoy the show, but like be like so inspired to make something so like beautiful and articulate. I really every time I gaze at it, I get lost and like almost teary-eyed. I was almost teary-eyed when you sent me the final product. I was just like, wow, it's one of the coolest things anyone's ever done for me.
Well, hey man, no problem. I think you deserve it for sure. And I think it really does. I mean, I don't live your life, but it encapsulates, I think, the essence of what you've gone through and what you go through now. So, and I think everybody sort of has a similar sort of collage of collisions of just things they've been through and you know, makes them who they are. And I think that's why you're the centerpiece and not the top piece, because you're not God, but you are human and you go through everything that's around you. So, actually, I got to tell you, when I started this piece, I was sick as shit for about, I don't know, 4 months.
Oh, wow.
So I caught fucking mono. Somebody I slept with wasn't telling anybody. I don't know. I have no idea. None of them said anything. Yeah. So I had mono, and then I got laryngitis, and then tonsillitis, and I got COVID.
Oh,
so this piece is covered in germs.
I think that makes it a little bit more special. I think so? I see some of the germs.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, I mean,
I believe it.
Yeah, like take me through your thought process on like the start of all things, because you said that there was a quote that was on your mind throughout the piece.
I can never remember it. It's a Kendrick Lamar quote.
Yeah.
And it's something about, running away from all the Lucy's around you, and then you find the answer at home, something like that.
I think it's the evils of Lucy are, at the end of a song, he goes, the evils of Lucy are all around me.
Right.
And I definitely see it on the piece. Yeah,
right.
Take me through it. Yeah.
Well, so when I saw that, because Joel actually sent me a concept for it, because I was like, what does he exactly want? And you sent me something very brief but also descriptive. And that quote was part of it. And so I just stuck with that. So thinking of Lucy's, I think Lucifer, satanic, I think evils, and I think just humanism, all of its vulgarities and beauties. And so I thought, like, fucking A, how do I do this? So making you a centerpiece. So I used Kingpin as a reference from Spider-Man. So I had to make you that that figure, the standing tall figure who's around the city, but he's not over the city, like I said. And the Lucy, so it's gangs, it's drugs, it's sex, it's excess, it's susceptibility. It's all those things. It's ungodliness, it's godliness, it's fanaticism, it's everything.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, so I'm going to structure this out. I had 4 sections really, and I got really lazy, and I was like, this is going to be red. Fuck that. There's no more collage shit. How can I do more shit? So the first part was gangs. So you got your white gangs, you get your black gangs, you get your Hispanic gangs.
Yeah.
And there's a culture behind it, there's religion behind it, there's money behind it, but there's violence and there's all sorts of manipulation and shit like that. So I just had to put that in there. Sex, as much as we might all love it, it fucks you up, man. Prostitution, OnlyFans, fucking limitations, over limitations.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to describe more of that. I mean, if you see this fucking piece, the sex on here, we got fucking images of Angela White and Asa Akira and Mariana Cordova, who's a transgender porn star. She's fucking hot as shit. And then we get your drugs on the other side. And the drug part was hard because I had to think about what it was like to be on drugs. I've been clean for a while on drugs.
Okay.
So coke was just like, it's sporadic. You know, you're constantly thinking and you're overthinking and you're not doing anything progressive really. So everything is just sort of paranoid. So there's a lot of small writing, there's a lot of randomness, there's a lot of like psychotic looking people in it. Yeah, I don't know. Then alcohol had to be thrown in there. You can't forget alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol. That's 100%. I see there's needles, there's salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different languages in there. I had to try to put Spanish in there and Russian and German to make it so that even if someone thought they knew what the fuck this piece was about, they have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw them off. Why do they get to know what it's about?
Yeah. What I get is I see racism, violence, drugs, sex.
Right.
But I want to. There's some pieces that I wanted to ask you personally. There's this. What does the eye represent? Because that's like not only is it symmetrical in the piece, but
right.
What were you thinking? What was your thought process when you were making?
Well, I think it's like a vision in general. So especially because it's in the section of sex. So it's either the proclivity to always want to see sex, or the idea that being or having sex is some sort of exposure and sort of like making you feel uncomfortable, or what's the word I'm looking for? Not exposed. Vulnerability. Yeah. So I feel like the eye is just really a representation of like how you feel you're seen as a sexual being. And I know it sounds really fucking daft and like pretentious, but I mean, it's just what I thought of. You know, I have no idea what else it could possibly be. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
So so in total, how long did it take you to make this?
I think I started, fuck me, dude. Let me double check. I think it was, let me say it was in fucking June.
June?
No, I think I finished in June. When did I finish it?
No, you didn't finish it in June.
I didn't finish it in June? June? Let's see, I started it in, how long did it take? Oh, I started in June, ended in October.
Wow, so
June, August, September, October. What is that, 4?
4 months?
4 months?
Wow.
Fucking A. I guess I did.
All pen?
Yeah, all pen.
All pen.
I mean, there's some marker with the red, but I mean, pen is the primary medium for this. Yeah.
Wow. Is there anything that you would want to
expand upon?
On the piece?
It's hard for me to pick out one point.
There's got to be hundreds of things on here.
Right. I have no idea. There's a lot of, I put sign language, I forgot, the other language is sign language, so Melvin, the MELVIN. Yeah, that's when I was really digging sign language. I fell off the map. In fact, oh God, I didn't even tell you, and this is a little off topic.
No, go ahead.
I got stitches 2 weeks ago in my lip because I got jumped by this fucking piece of shit.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell.
I know, it looks great right now.
Yeah.
What's it called? I had an ex-girlfriend, I'm not going to say any names, and she was a smart gal, or at least she was one. And she's dating this guy who's a little insecure and abrupt and brute-like and ridiculous and whatever. Anyway, I'm drunk, I'm on a date, and I'm having a good time. We're about to go to the bathroom. I'm about to go to the bathroom so we can go home. I'm pissing. I see this guy standing from behind me. He's looking at me. And I'm like, this fucking creep's looking at me. Turn around and I see him. I'm like, oh fuck, it's this asshole. I've had a problem with him before. And push comes to shove, bada bing, bada boom. Small words are given back and forth. I black out entirely. I don't even remember the first punch. And I wake up. I'm like, not crawling, but I'm like slumped.
Yeah.
Walking out of the door outside. Lip is completely bleeding. Head's bleeding. There's welts all over me. My ribs, I feel like they're cracked. I can't sneeze without it hurting.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, that happened. And I forgot why I even brought that up. What was I talking about? Violence, sex? I don't even remember.
Oh, we were talking about...
You said the sign language.
yeah, you fell off the map.
Okay, so I went to the hospital and I kept wanting to fall asleep, and they're like, no, don't fall asleep because you might have a concussion.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't stay up, and then I got really upset, and I couldn't talk anymore because my lip hurt so bad. So I just had to sign to the girl I was with, like, I'm sorry, my head hurts. Can we go now? You know, shit like that. Of course, this is not proper sign language right now, but at the time, I was doing that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened, bro.
It's all right.
No
I
idea.
mean, yeah, I forgot to tell you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look like you.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Dude, my face is still a little yellow. It's got little tints. Yeah. But
Wow.
yeah, that was something that happened.
Do you plan to retaliate? I don't know if you want to get this on camera. Do you plan on doing something? Maybe like write a review?
Oh yeah, I'll give him a Yelp review.
Yeah.
Put on his apartment building. No, no.
It just happens. Do you remember the words that you exchanged?
No, the words I exchanged was he asked about something from the past, and I said I just reported what I said. I reported what I was told, and then, boom, that was it. Yeah, that's all I remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, it'd be like that sometimes.
It sure does, and it's a pain in the ass because it didn't feel great.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst part I think was getting my stitches out, because when I got my stitches out, I had two ladies behind me. It was like 6 o'clock at night, and they're like, "You sure you want to get these out?" And I was like, "Yeah, please." So I'm laying there, and she's nervous. She's like,
You're like, why are you breathing like that?
yeah. And then my stomach is rumbling, and then the nurse next to me, her stomach is rumbling, and the woman who's taking out my stitches is rumbling. So I was like, we're just like,
Yeah.
and she pulls my stitches out, and oh my God, that was the worst pain of this whole thing. Getting my ass kicked was like menial.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, but getting my stitches out was probably the worst part of it.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because I mean, your lips are really sensitive.
Yeah,
to
and then they're
begin
just
with.
pulling it. Yeah,
Dang, I'm sorry that happened.
it's all right.
I had a similar situation where I didn't get in a fight, but I went to a bar with I had just turned 21, and I went to a bar with my big sister, and she goes over, she's just like, hey, why is that Asian guy look like he's staring at you? Do you know him? Like he's dogging you.
Yeah.
And I look over, and he looks away, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, that's this girl that I used to date's new boyfriend that I've never met in my life.
Right.
And even like me and that girl are still on good terms to this day.
Right.
So I was like, I wonder why he's dogging me. Like I had, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything bad. I'm like thinking about like, I'm like, what? No. I've been pure this whole time.
Right.
And and I go to the bathroom in a similar situation, and he goes to the bathroom, and he's dogging me.
Really?
And like he wants me to say something to him.
Really?
I can tell. Like
Why wouldn't he say something?
He wants to bait me.
Okay, got
You know what
it.
I mean?
Yeah,
He wants me to be like, to start this, and I've never met him in my life before, so I'm just like, you know, if a stranger dogs me, I'm not gonna say anything either.
Right.
You know, if you have a problem, come and say something or do something. I'm not gonna be like, what you staring at?
Right. Yeah.
That's beneath me. So.
You're not that kind of a guy. I don't see that coming from you.
So and then like, but then of course I was drinking, and I'm like, you know, if he says something, I might do something.
Sure. Yeah.
And then my sister's here, and like I don't want him to disrespect my sister. And then I go out, and he goes with his buddies, and one of his buddies goes, Melvin? And I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? It's like, I used to play basketball with him.
Okay.
And he's like, how you been? And he's like hugging me and stuff like that. And I could just tell that this guy's just fuming. Like,
really?
Yeah, like he's
Wait,
just
he was
like,
part of his group?
Yeah, his friend.
Okay.
Yeah, so he probably had just a problem with me.
Right.
And he probably thought like, oh, me and my boys are gonna do. And then for one of his boys to just be like, Melvin, how are you?
Breaking the whole mold.
He just like he was just, I don't know. it's strange. People have their own little things in their head.
They sure do.
Yeah.
It's annoying. Opinions, right?
Yeah. yeah. Opinions. A lot of people don't deserve opinions.
No, they don't.
I'll be honest with you. But I mean, I'm so fortunate that happened, bro.
It's all right. I mean, it's just another story to tell, really.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like, I'm not bitching. Well, that's a lie. If you're my close friend, you know I've been bitching like for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you know, it moves on. Time moves on. So I'm not dwelling on it anymore. I'll probably make a piece about it for sure. There's no way in hell that I can't forget that.
I mean, sign language. What an intense reason to bring up sign language. It's just like, I couldn't speak, so I started sign language.
Right. My lip fucking hurts. I know you know how to say, hi, and I'm fucked up right now. And thank God my date knew fingerspelling.
Wow.
Because if she didn't, of course I'd just be fucking might as well be speaking Spanish to her or Chinese.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What interesting. You're Latino, right?
Yeah. Well, what does that mean? Because I've heard that Latino is not the right term, or Hispanic is not the right term. I've always said Hispanic.
Yeah, I did as well. Hispanic is a term that it's like apparently this is what people say. It's like demeaning towards Latino people because it's like I believe in the Reagan administration they just called everyone of Latin descent Hispanic.
Oh, it's just blanket term.
Yeah, it's a blanket term.
Interesting.
It's a
Okay.
blanket term. And Latino, people are hating on the term Latinx.
Right.
You know, I honestly those things are just it's whatever to me. It's
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like because my ethnicity is not my identity.
Sure.
If that makes
no,
sense.
Yeah, that totally makes sense.
You know, I think there's a lot of like people get a lot of backlash for saying things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you're you, and then you're your ethnicity. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it's almost like that. I think it's you're you because of all these other things. That's not just because you're a black male. That's who you are. No. It's you have a name.
Yeah.
You have a birthplace. You have a family. You
Yeah.
have a history. You have a career.
Yeah.
You have a future.
Yeah.
I think there's just so many things you have to take into account when you're identifying an individual. You have to have all those traits, not just a couple of them, especially the ones that you want people to shed light on in a negative way.
Yeah. Like if I say it, my name is Melvin.
Yeah.
I am a Latino comedian.
Right.
So it's like
If
Melvin,
you even had to say that.
Latino comedian. You know what I mean?
Sure.
In my heart, that's how I feel. Those are the levels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Melvin first. I'm Latino, and then I'm a comedian.
Right.
So some days I feel like a comedian more than Latino. Yeah. But yeah, that's just how it is. But you're like full Mexican.
No, I'm not full. My dad is full. My mom is half, so that makes me 75%. If that makes sense, I have no idea. Huh?
Your dad's full. Your mom's half with what?
Half white. So I mean, it's a combination of like white mutt shit. So it's like majority Scottish, German, Polish. I'm sure Russian, fucking Irish, whatever.
Yeah, the low whites.
Right. Yeah. The oppressed whites.
Yeah.
The fucking scum of the earth. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that brings me to a point. To another question that I want to ask. The symbol of the swastika is like really prominent in a lot of your artwork.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was taken aback when I first saw it, and I asked you about it. You gave me a really nice and descriptive explanation as to why you do it, and I understood. Do you want to maybe just like tell people what your stance on the symbol is?
Sure. I love the symbol, and I think I learned about it, of course, through history class, World War II, the Nazis, of course, but there's so much. 98% of the symbol's history is all peace, all auspiciousness. There you go. Virtue, peace, beauty, life cycle, all these things. It's in the Hindu religion. It's in the Buddhist religion. It's in the Sikh religion. It's in Navajo basketry and clothing before the 1940s. It was called the Nahoko for the Mohawk tribes, I think.
For Native Americans.
For Native Americans. And then Americans adopted it after that, and they used it. It was almost like a mainstream universal symbol for good luck. And then the Finland Air Force uses it, or used to use it, as their Air Force symbol before the Nazis came around. I just think the symbol is so underplayed in the West because it, of course, with reasonable reason, the Nazis, of course, was the enemy of the West, and of course they killed a bunch of Jews, and well, a bunch is sort of an understatement. But they had a whole ideology that was not with the Western hemisphere's Judeo-Christian value set. And I think they just demonized the symbol, and it's a shame because I like using it. And now I don't want to be the person who's like, the symbol's for this, and you should only use it for this. I mean, Nazis are going to use it. I use the symbol all the time in both the Nazi sense and the virtue sense. It's just you can't escape both ways. Because as recent as it was, you can't forget the past like that. So when you want to preach about it being a peaceful symbol, you can't forget all the shit that Nazis
You got to
did.
take both the bad and the good.
You can't. You have to. I think that's how you take anything. Like you can't just take it. Oh, they're gods, or they're evil. There's a backstory to everything.
Yeah.
But that's how I use it. I use the symbol.
Yeah.
And I've been told that it's shock value shit. My teacher used to tell me that. Do you use it for shock? It's like I don't. But if I use it and you get shocked, then I guess in a way. Yeah. I don't know. I enjoy the symbol a lot, and I draw all the time.
Yeah.
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 It's hard for me not to, and there's a couple in there too.
Oh, I know there are a couple.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm very aware that there are a couple on this piece.
Right. There's one for sure that you can spot, but there's other.
Oh yeah, there's one
Right, but there's other hidden ones in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one that looks like the one that's on your shirt right now, actually. Wow, I just saw this for the first time.
Right. That's just replicating Picasso's piece. I forget which one it was.
Picasso, the drinks. Wow.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you know a lot about art?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm you know, I know like the popular ones, but also you know, I'm a big fan of Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
Obviously Picasso. I'm a massive fan of Basquiat.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and there's like other lesser known Van Gogh, obviously.
Sure.
You know,
A lesser known one.
Yeah, so that's another huge one.
Sure.
But yeah, there's like lesser known artists that I really do. I love art galleries, and that's one thing that we talked about, which is like how, you know, your relationship with art galleries and establishments that.
Spotty.
Yeah.
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 Well, even if there's no swastika involved, I mean, people just have a problem with the things I draw anyway, because it's nakedness, it's abuse, it's violence, it's vulgarity, it's immoral, whatever it is. It's galleries and establishments. I say that loosely because it's not like there's a company heading for me,
yeah.
but like they just don't want to deal with the potential of having a problem of explaining my work. Like the last show I went to. I don't know if I think I told you this. Joel. There was a show that you saw me at, and there was a video promo summarizing the night. And I was in there for 2 seconds. I'm not going to toot my own horn here. I pulled in a lot of crowd, and they stayed at my piece. My piece is the longest, because there's a lot of detail to look at.
Yeah.
And they said that they didn't get approval from production, and they didn't have a trigger warning for my work, because it was hostile. And as reasonable as that may seem, I thought it was a little unfair to not have my work in it. I look like a patron in the video. I'm just looking at work, my own work, by the way. And yeah, it was weird. And it's a common thing, though. A lot of galleries don't want my work in there because of that reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why I gravitate towards your work is just the
good.
rawness, and it's the reality of a lot of things, you know.
Right.
And it's you know, as an artist in any medium of art, you're a reflection of the world around you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Either there are a lot of artists that see the cruelty and the harshness of their environment, and they make it into something pretty.
Right, yeah.
There are others that make it into something grotesque.
Right.
And then there are others that are a mirror
Right.
to those around you.
Sure.
And honestly, in my opinion, I think you're all three.
Oof.
I think you're all three. It's cold in here, huh?
No, I got a little chilly real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I think you're all three.
Thank you, man.
I think you're all
great.
three where it's like you put a mirror up to everything, but you
Right.
also, you know, you also make things beautiful. But you also make things more
Well, that
grotesque.
kind of goes hand in hand. Then, like
Yeah.
the grotesque, the grotesque truth is also beautiful in a way because it's
Yes.
shining a light on the realities that you have to live with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to ask you, like, how personal are your pieces to you? Are they you throwing up your spirit onto the canvas, or are they your observations and your take on them, or like what?
It's hard to say. Well, it's actually not that hard to say. When I was thinking about your piece, it's hard to not make a custom piece for somebody without putting my own shit in it. So, of course, I don't know what kind of porn you watch, but my porn.
Well, I'm a Christian. I don't watch porn.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah. And I'm Jewish. It was all my sexual interests and taboos, all my experiences with gang life, and of course, I'm not a gangbanger. I never have been. My experiences with drugs, it's all personal because it all has to come from somewhere. Even if I need a reference to look at something, I know exactly how I've seen things before. So it's just it is my perspective for sure. It is a piece about you, but it has to come from me.
Yeah.
And of course, it's going to be seen differently, so that's why it looks the way it does. Of course, if you were drawing a piece or painting a piece and you wanted to reflect me, it's going to look a way of how you would see it in your head.
Yeah.
So it's all personal. Yeah, every piece is personal. I'm actually working on one right now, a newer one, and it's longer, it's bigger. I'm hoping to make it bigger every time. But you can only go so far with your own personal stories. Yeah, I don't know. It's all personal. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I was reading Dante's Inferno the other day. Yeah. I could definitely see a lot of that in your work.
I've been told before that by a few people, or asked. They said, "Have you read Dante's Inferno?" It's like, "Oh, is it because of the work?" It's like, "Yeah, it's because of the work." Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's because of yeah. I feel like this is like there's like how, in particular, not exactly this piece, but you have another piece that's like long.
Right.
That's how I like imagined.
Right.
Like that. I feel like they have like similar
Sure.
characteristics.
Right. Well, there's a lot of chaos going on, and my style at first, this collage sort of style, it came from like Chicano prison art, because even if you look at Chicano tattoos, like it's that black and gray, it's like that mesh of like chaos and women and like temptation, and I loved how that always looked. And when I started making pieces like this, I'd make them more Chicano based, like about my heritage and like. I used to have races, everything, some bullshit I grew out of, but I don't know. I think Chicano prison art is the thing that inspired me to start making things like this, and then I sort of expanded on that with the artists I enjoyed. So like you said, Picasso and Dali, but they're great artists for sure. But those are like the landmark ones you hear about, like Warhol as well.
Yeah.
The Neue Sachlichkeit artists from Germany in the 1920s had a new objectivity is what it was basically called. And they just had a different way of looking at things. So it was taking the grotesque truth and then the lying beauty of everything. And I just thought, great way to implement that.
Yeah.
And I use that every time I try to make a piece. Yeah.
Yeah. You say, yeah. You have these inspirations, these artists that you inspire. But do you have anyone in your like real life that you take inspiration from or inspires you?
That's tough. That is really tough. I don't know. A lot of modern artists, I mean, I know a very select handful. So like there's Lunacy on Instagram. She's a great painter, but she's so modest about her work. Oh, she's so modest. And there's musicians too. Like Sam Stone is so driven with her music. And it doesn't make me want to make art. It's just knowing that she's so driven about her passion makes me driven about mine. My brother's the same way, fantastic musician.
Super nice guy too.
Right, yeah. I forgot you met him.
Yeah.
Artists, I don't know. There's a bunch of them, and I'm gonna fucking get so pissed. Maxwell Stone, is it Maxwell Stone art? That's not. No, it's his fucking handle. Maxwell Stone is a great artist. He uses pastel colors. It's great with anatomy. Lunacy, like I said before. There's one I don't know named Mupan. He's a Asian artist who did the cover art for Midsommar. It's like very collage-esque. It's long.
Yeah.
Oh, I love his work.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't have a lot of artists that I like that are.
Well, you
close
take
to me.
inspiration. You take inspiration from non-artist people as well.
I mean, like non-painters.
Non-painters,
Right.
non-drawers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like fuck. Yeah. I mean, like there's David Bowie, of course.
Yeah.
Huge Bowie head.
Yeah. Bowie had over here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love Bowie. Bowie's a huge one for me. But that's about it that aren't musicians. I mean, other than that, like I just started getting into Marcel Duchamp. I used to hate people who were enthusiastic about him because he was just so like, oh, here's a fucking urinal. But no, I think there's so much more to it now. He was so genuine. He was so sweet about it. And Warhol is the reason. The reason why Warhol is so big is because of people like Duchamp, in my eyes.
Duchamp's the one that did the toilet.
Yeah, the urinal thing. I forgot what it was called. It might have been called toilet. I don't know.
Yeah. You're actually really like big into comedians, stand-up comedy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did that big old piece. I forgot how long
You
it
have
took me.
you have a piece right here actually that you gifted me.
Oh, look at that.
When I went to when I went to see him in
L.A.
at an art show here
Yeah.
in downtown, down the
Yeah.
street actually.
Is it that close?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he drew the headshots of
It's like 120.
some of the
130.
biggest comedians in the world, stand-up comedians in the world.
Yeah.
And Josh Michaels makes a little appearance here too.
He
actually.
sure does.
Yeah. Is there another comedian that we both know?
I don't know if you know Jackson Lind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Jackson
he's
Lind,
in
yeah.
there somewhere. He's he's the one with like the
Oh
closest
yeah,
eyes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him the other day actually.
Yeah.
Super nice guy.
Yeah, I talked to a couple of those comedians briefly. Like, who did I talk to? I talked to Karen Feehan, who's very funny. Ian Fidance is very funny, New York comics. Jared Schwartz, I think. Who's your favorite comic?
My favorite comedian?
Yeah.
It's tough. I love so many, but I think, I don't know, I feel like it's like, if I say Dave Chappelle, that's kind of saying like, oh, my favorite basketball player is LeBron James. But Honestly, that's it.
He's on the top of the game for a reason. He's a funny
reason.
dude. He's got the structure of his stories are always great. It's always, like the ending of his last special was great.
Like he's not afraid to say whatever he wants.
No.
Now I haven't at this moment in time. I haven't seen the one that's been giving him a lot of flack.
Recently, yeah.
I haven't seen, but I've seen everything that he's done besides the last thing. So I don't have an opinion on that. But before that, he doesn't shy away from talking about things that matter in his life, and he's just a comedic genius. I don't even think he's a comedic genius. I think he's just a genius.
Right.
I love him. I love, I love Kevin Hart. I love Chris D'Elia, Brian Callen.
Sorry, what did you just say?
Chris D'Elia.
All right, I know who you're talking about.
What?
Chris D'Elia?
Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia. Chris D'Elia.
Delala?
Yeah,
Chris Delala?
Chris Delala Land, all that stuff. Chris Delala Land. Every time someone asks me that question, I always like blank out. Tom Segura.
Tom Segura's great.
Tom Segura.
I do think, and I know I'm going to get really elitist here, he got a niche and he stuck with it. And that's great.
Yeah.
But he made it too obvious. Like his oh, well that's about that. Like he's so funny to me. But his first one was so genuine, and now it's just I feel like he's just taking from that one. I don't know, like Bill Burr, when he makes a new set, it's like it's still the same thing. It's a Boston dude getting angry for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's always different.
Yeah. I feel like any of these comedians that I've named, there's a strong case of them being my favorite.
Right.
I was a huge Patrice O'Neal fan.
Oh yeah, great. Yeah. He's in the ending of that.
I love Ali Wong.
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman is obviously one of the greats.
Yeah, she's funny.
Kathy Griffin, I was a big fan of hers as well.
Really?
Yeah. There's so many comedians that like I can't really at the top of my head I can't name, but if you mention I would just be like, oh yes, 100%.
Right. Have you seen a lot of what's it called? Colin Quinn?
Colin Quinn.
East Coast guy.
It sounds familiar. I'm sure if I see his face.
Okay. Jim Norton?
Jim Norton, I do like.
Yeah, Jim Norton's fucking funny as hell.
Yeah, Jim Gaffigan. Yeah. I used to growing up, I was a big Aziz Ansari fan.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
Yeah. I love Theo Von now.
Yeah.
Who else? There's like other big
Bobby
ones.
Ree.
Yeah. Who?
Bobby Lee.
Oh, Bobby Lee. I love Bobby Lee, dude. I love me some Bobby Lee.
Yeah, he's funny, man.
Yeah, Bobby's so great. His podcast is great. I love his stand-up.
Yeah.
Christina
Pazitsky's really funny too.
Yeah, dude, comedy. Especially in LA, like it's really truly something special. I would love for you to come out to a show.
Tell me when, I'm fucking go.
Yeah.
As long as it has better parking than this fucking.
I know. I just got vaccinated, so I'm gonna be hitting up clubs now.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah, because they wouldn't let you in if you weren't vaccinated.
No, I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so I probably can't go.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, you probably can't go.
Okay.
Yeah. What's it called? But yeah, this piece is absolutely. There's like literally every time I look at it, it's like something new.
That's the best part of it.
It's
so small, You're always gonna see something new every time you see it. And there's gonna be like times when you drink. I know you're not drinking now, but when you drink in the future, you're like, oh, what the fuck? Let me just look at this thing real quick. You're gonna see something else. You're like, wow, man, I didn't know that was in there.
I know. I'm trying to think where I can hang it up in the studio.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, for you, this is the studio.
It's great. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a lot bigger in the videos.
It looks big in the videos?
Yeah. It looks fucking huge in the videos.
I know. It's just the way it's.
It's still actually really big. It's just really spacious.
Yeah. It's the ceilings. The ceilings is what makes it big.
Yeah, no shit, dude.
What was I gonna say? You're in a band, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's funny. It's funny.
About it?
We've been trying to keep it low because it's the mystery is the best part of that.
Oh, okay.
But no, hold up. It's okay though because we don't have an audience. So like, who's gonna really spoil anything? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's called Hater Bruna. We're a German band. German copper rock is what we play because we think we're too cheap for metal. But I heard copper is actually more expensive than just regular metal, so it doesn't really work. But yeah, we've been working on a new album and it's gonna be coming out in March, and it's way better than the first one. I'm so impressed with it. My brother, Hayden, is such a fantastic musician, and the reason why it sounds so good is because he's in it. and we just got a new guitarist, and we're going to be performing soon, beginning of the next coming year.
Yeah, for sure. That's
Depending
awesome.
on when this comes out.
Yeah, the music. Check them out. What's the Instagram page?
So it's at Heidelbruder, so Haydelbruder, which just means Heidel Brothers in German.
Heidel Brothers.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
His name's Hayden.
Oh.
Our grandpa calls him Heidel, so we just fucking stuck with that. It sounds German, right?
Yeah.
Like Haagen-Dazs, Haagen-Dazs isn't really like Swedish or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
It's just it sounds Swedish or
Yeah.
whatever the hell it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
for
like
sure.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have any live performances coming up?
There's supposed to be one in January, but of course, when I was told this, he was drunk. So I don't know if it's a shoo-in yet. But if
Yeah.
it is, I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. If I could
That'd be
perform.
awesome. Yeah. I had no idea you were in a band.
How'd you find out?
I think you followed me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You think the band followed
Trying to
me?
keep it secret, and I'm fucking following everybody I know.
Yeah. I think you followed me, and I think I put two and two together. I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
Oh, smart. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
This guy does the album work, and he's also in it. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's so cool. You can make your own album work like that. Like it's like.
That's the
so
best part of
sick.
being the artist in the band is that I can make the album work.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm so excited that you're here. What do you? I'm curious to know like what your like 5 and 10 year plan is with your art. Like, do you plan on like diving into the NFT sphere that's going on right now?
I
Like,
tried to do that, but it's so complicated. And I say complicated because there's an application. I got to just say my name, my email address, and get verified. I don't want to do all that shit. And NFTs, I just feel like there's no personability about it. Like, it's all online, of course, and of course you can have a physical thing, but
they say, well, I mean, I was listening to a podcast where they were like, the reason why a lot of like artists are against it. Well, no, the reason why a lot of these popular, expensive NFTs look like shit is because a lot of like the great artists are very anti-NFT. Either they
so
don't
there's
believe
no
in it.
good limit of
Yeah,
the
they
good
don't.
work.
Either they don't believe in it, they don't understand it. So only these like lower level artists
Right.
are getting in on the action. So
Right.
that's why a lot of these NFTs look like
That's interesting.
some Photoshop
Right.
stuff. Yeah.
I believe that because if you think about it, I feel like the people who are going for NFTs and that know the value of the market because I've actually seen really good work, NFT work, but there's also a lot of really shitty ones that are popular.
Yeah.
They're setting the standard for the new postmodern, abstract, digital, not in my possession work, and I think that's just so complex and not even worth the process of even getting it. But of course, I sound naive. I sound like an old curmudgeon saying shit like that. Like, don't go with that because it's all it's on the internet. I mean, I have no interest in going for NFTs, and I know people who do who are smart and know how to work that shit. And there's something good in there that I would ever buy or invest in. So I don't know. NFT just doesn't sound like it's for me.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you do give it a shot, I'm sure your work will go for it.
Well, thank you for
penny.
that. Thank
Yeah.
you. And if I do it, I take everything I just said back.
Yeah. Okay. We'll scratch it. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, if you ever need a space to work on your art, man, my doors are wide open.
That would be fucking great.
Yeah.
Because Joel has been in my fucking my basement, and it's small, right? Yeah, it's a little small, a little compact. He was in there. It's like his head's basically touching the ceiling.
Really? So I wouldn't fit in there?
Oh no, you wouldn't be allowed in there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I open my doors to all my artist friends. I mean, yeah, you basically do anything in here.
Great,
Yeah.
that would be cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
because like I said, the spot I'm working at, I'm doing my homework, I'm living in there, I'm sleeping in there. It's basically like a studio apartment, which I guess I just get used to. But I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, where can people find you?
Where can people find me? Physically, you can find me in downtown Pomona. I'll be drinking at any one of those bars.
Hey, don't fight him anymore. All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get pissed off.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna head down to downtown Pomona.
He's coming from Melvin, man. He's like an 8'3".
Yeah. Yeah.
You can find me at my fucking shoes. Okay, you can find me at DrawHoyos, DrawHoyos on Instagram, and that's about it. I have a Twitter, but I don't use it. DrawHoyos is the best thing to find me on Instagram. Yeah, and there's a couple of YouTube videos on. Oh, there's such a despicable and hateable interview of me on YouTube. I have hair, and I don't have facial hair.
Oh yeah. Also, he used to have like a nice set of hair too. Like,
Yeah,
he's bald by choice, just so you guys know.
Yeah. I'm not balding. I don't have cancer or anything.
Yeah.
I just like how it feels, dude.
Yeah, he's not a skinhead. He's
Sure.
Like, he's a fucking.
Yeah, I'm not
artist.
a skinhead or anything, you know.
Yeah.
I keep looking over here like you're the only camera. What was I gonna say? Yeah, you can find me there, and I'm bald by choice.
Yeah, bald by choice. Definitely. Yeah, you have merch.
I do have merch,
Yeah.
and it's funny. I made all those comedy prints because, like, Jenna Sunday was a producer for Bad Friends, which is with
Andrew Santino. I love
and Bobby
Andrew Santino
Lee.
too. Yeah,
Right.
Bobby Lee.
And I talked to her, and I sent her the print, and then she reposted it. I got like 4,000 views on it, and like hundreds of people were saying like, "Where do I get this?"
Yeah.
And I told them all, and when I got it available, nobody bought it, and I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It'd
As
be
long
like
as you
this.
saw it."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have this hanging up in my. I took a video. I hung it up in my house because this is you gave us.
Oh, that's
two.
right. Yeah, I gave you that one on the
Yeah.
show. Yeah.
I have it hanging up in my house. I even took a video too, and I was gonna send it to you. I don't know why I did. Did I?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it when I get home.
Cool.
But what you call the? What was I gonna say?
Lots of things.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But oh, you also went viral on TikTok.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, why the swastikas? Bro's a Nazi. I love the swastikas. I actually had another instant of like somebody who's famous on TikTok for reviewing artwork and like sort of breaking down the process of what they think is going on. And I asked him like, would you go over my artwork? He goes, you have great work. Everything you're doing is right. Fantastic work. But it would be too reckless of him to do a video in less than a minute describing my work. And it makes sense because there's a lot of things you gotta describe, and there's violence, there's swastikas, everything like that. But he said, you got great work. So I mean, as long as he said that, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what a lot of people get caught up on is the swastikas.
Right.
And just to paraphrase what you're saying, correct me if I'm saying it incorrectly, but you know, it's you believe that the swastika it has such a deeper meaning than the way the Nazis portrayed it, because it's been around for thousands of years.
Thousands, if not
And
more.
yeah, if not more. And for 98% of those thousands of years, it meant power and peace
Right.
and positivity.
Right. Virtue and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah, all those things. And since these last 100 years,
Right.
it's been tainted to the highest degree.
Right.
But that you say that doesn't take away.
No, it's not going to stop me from using it.
The past. And,
Yeah. I mean, you have to look at every aspect of it. You want to look in the past, that's fine. Look at the past. But there's a whole there's a whole timeline of things
Yeah,
that
if you're
people
gonna look in
aren't
the
looking at.
past,
Yeah. Go all the way back.
you believe if you're gonna look in the past, go deeper in the past.
Right. Yeah.
Go all the way and look at the entire past.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
And I think that's what makes people shy away. It makes people uncomfortable, and
Interestingly enough, though, in person, people are more likely to ask me about it. Instead of on the internet, it's very like black and white.
Yeah.
It's this or it's this. In person, people are always willing to ask me, and there's always a conversation. There hasn't been anything hostile about my interactions with people looking at my work yet. Not yet. Yeah. There was one guy at the show, and he might have been a little drunk. He's like, "Man, dog, you a Nazi?" And I was like, No. He goes, "I don't care if you are, though. I'm a different kind of guy." And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to walk over here.
yeah, well, I'm not.
Yeah.
No.
Nervous
There's
laugh.
definitely some interesting people at that comedy show.
Yeah, there sure
I mean,
was.
at that art show.
Yeah. Yeah, sure was. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really do admire your art. I'm a big fan of your art.
Thanks, man. I hope to make more.
Truly appreciate this.
No problem. This is for you.
This is incredible.
Yeah, thank you, man.
This is incredible. I'm trying to figure out when we'll put it in the studio.
Yeah, I don't know.
And just have like the speech ready for when people ask me about the swastikas.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the artist, the way he
said it's good to be bad,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, like Nazis are
He's
somewhat.
a good guy. He's a good guy.
Yeah, they had good points. I don't know. Yeah.
Can I just call him? I'll call him and then you can talk to him on the phone.
Hey, what's up, man? Okay, give me a second. Put me on speaker.
Yeah. No, yeah. This is truly remarkable.
Thanks, man.
Thanks again for coming.
No problem, dude. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, for
I gotta
sure.
pee really bad.
Yo, for sure. Then yeah, right on time.
Cool.
Do you wanna? Oh, that's right. Actually, I have something for you too.
No shit.
Yes.
Okay.
Give me a sec.
Don't look over here.
Look
Oh, look over here. I'm fucking freezing. I'm freezing and I gotta pee so bad.
I know that it was challenging for you to like park in the flower district. So I got you.
Is this where you get the flowers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's why I give flowers to all my guests, because it's just like,
Right.
not only I want to show appreciation for them, but also I'm in the flower district.
Sure. Yeah.
And I have so many flowers here in the studio.
Yeah.
It smells like flowers downstairs.
Right.
The flowers all around me.
There sure
There's
are.
evils of Lucy all around me, but there's also flowers all around me.
Wow, look at that.
So as an appreciation for not only this piece, but for, this new friendship that we have.
Sure, I would say so.
Yeah, here you go.
Oh, wow. This is so sweet. Thank you, man. This is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna put this in a thing. I'm gonna fill it full of water, and then that's it.
Yeah, and there it is. And it's going to last you 2 to 3 business days.
Oh, great. Shipping.
And then you're going to throw them out.
Great, love it, man. Thank you so much. It's funny that you say that. Like, you have all the evils around you, and then all the flowers around you. Back to the same thing with the swastikas and everything around us, or opinions and shit like that. All kind of intertwined, put back together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I always feel like I've seen horrible, horrible, horrible things in my life. But I've also seen absolutely beautiful and gorgeous things and lovely things.
Right.
And it's just all about the mix, and it's about how you view them.
Yeah, I agree.
What we're talking about, from your lenses, your eyes and your heart.
Right. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wholeheartedly.
Thank you again for coming out.
Thanks, man.
For sure. I think
God, look how big his hand
that's
was.
it.